All right, my little hoochie, I need you to breathe before we begin because today's script is about to drag you for the fucking filth. It's going to be so personal and so accurate that you might start looking around your room for hidden cameras. And don't worry, you'll fucking find them. We're not just analyzing ATEEZ, we're using the distinct archetypal personalities of each ATEEZ bias to expose the ugly fucking truth about your deepest, darkest, penetrating holes and unspoken relationship needs. The needs you won't verbalize, but you demand silently. Your bias ratted you out years ago, months ago, whenever the fuck you decided to stand ATs. So, if you've ever sat in a relationship thinking, why don't they just know what I need? You need to understand that this behavior is rooted in a fundamental flaw in your emotional vulnerability. This isn't just about bad communication. It's about attachment theory and the defensive walls you build to avoid rejection. This video will explore why we replace clarity with expectation, how this creates toxic loops, and what your specific AT's bias reveals about your need for healing. Get ready to face yourself, mother flipper. Get water, get tissues, get a towel because you're going to be snailing all over the place. This is going to be long, hard, and definitely a necessary talk. Hongjoong, the demand for intuitive knowing, the mind reader trap. If Hongjoong is your bias, you want someone to understand you without explanation. This is the classic mind reader trap. You don't want to be understood, you want to be known, felt in your essence. You demand someone who can read your silences, your pauses, your spirals, someone who hears the parts of you you're too afraid to voice because if you have to explain it, it somehow feels less genuine. The root of this behavior, often a fear of rejection so deep that you delegate the work of knowing you to your partner. If they truly loved you, they would intuitively know your pain, right? Here is the toxic twist. You won't say what you need. You expect the right person to just get it. You demand emotional fluency, my little hoochie, but never offer emotional clarity. How this actually happens in a relationship. You get upset, you stay silent, and you expect them to figure out why. When they inevitably fail to magically read your fucking soul, you feel deeply wounded and conclude they don't care. The solution. The person who loves you cannot interpret your unspoken fears. You must learn to bridge the gap between your internal experience and your external communication. Start with one clear, vulnerable statement per day. Stop testing them. Now, you do not have to hide your tenderness because that's Seonghwa's job. Seonghwa, the hidden call for tenderness, the composed facade. If Seonghwa is your bias, you want someone to protect your softness. On the outside, you look composed, stable, mature. You are the rock of your fucking social circle, capable of handling everything. But inside, which you want him to be, you are incredibly soft, sensitive, and easily overwhelmed. The need here is for someone who sees the vulnerability you keep hidden, someone who handles you tenderly without being asked. Your silence comes from the belief that asking for comfort makes you look weak, shattering your image of composure. You believe true love means they will notice the crack in the facade, but you never say it. You wait for someone to notice your unspoken fragility and care for the version of you that only exists behind closed doors, where you want him to be. How this actually happens. You downplay your needs, act fine, keep the peace, and carry all of the burdens. Then you silently resent people for not knowing you desperately needed comfort, a hug, or permission to break down. The solution. Practice one small act of self exposure a week. Not like that. Do not expose yourself to people. Instead of saying, I'm fine, try, I'm exhausted. Can we just watch a movie? Or, I feel shaky today. Give them a small window to step in and protect your softness. You are not protecting your softness, you are preventing anyone from reaching it. But sometimes you want to have reciprocity, but that's Yunho's thing. So let us just get to our golden retriever. Yunho, the silent demand for reciprocity, the unmatched effort. If Yunho is your bias, you want someone to match your warmth effortlessly. You are a generous, consistent, and active lover. Oh, I bet he is. You show up give reassurance, affection, and presence naturally and consistently. You know what you can do that's consistent? Like and subscribe to this video and the channel. Let go. Your internal value system is built on reciprocity. If you give X, they should intuitively give X back. But secretly, you want someone to mirror your energy and effort without being prompted. You feel that if you are the one always initiating, then the affection isn't real. This is where the trap lies. You don't ask for it because you want it to be organic. You hope they'll notice the size of your heart and other things and just do it. How it actually happens. You continue giving more and more, taking on emotional labor and initiating every date in hopes they'll eventually match you. When they don't, you feel profoundly unseen and drained. Oh, I would love to drain you, leading to classic caregiver burnout. The solution: stop trying to earn the love you deserve. Ask directly. I feel like I'm initiating all of our dates. Could you plan the next two? Or, I need 5 minutes of reassurance right now. When you ask for it, you reclaim your fucking power and establish clear boundaries, moving beyond the expectation of effortless matching. Now, do not retreat. Do not do that because that's Yeosang's job. Yeosang, the retreat and wait. If Yeosang is your bias, you want someone who understands your silence. You're not quiet because you lack emotion, but because your emotions are intensely private. Your need is for someone to respect your pauses, your distance, and your guarded heart. You want someone who can sit with you in stillness without demanding explanations or filling the void with nervous chatter. You feel that if someone truly accepts you, they will accept your need for emotional distance as part of the package. But you never tell anyone this is your process. You just withdraw and hope someone follows you into your shell. It's Turtle? Hey man, that's my rabbit. Have you seen that episode? It's so fun. Anyway, proving their commitment by respecting your non-verbal cues. How this actually happens. So you disappear into your shell, expecting someone to notice and respect the space. Then assume no one cares when they don't chase you or violate your boundary. This creates a constant cycle of withdrawal and testing. The solution: how are we going to stop doing all this, baby? How are we going to stop it? Understand that silence is a vacuum most people try to fill. Set a verbal boundary. I need 30 minutes of quiet space to process, and then I'll come find you. This communicates your need without forcing your partner into the impossible task of mind reading your specific need for space. And this can go for friends or family. It's just not exclusive to relationships. And I'm just being honest right now, but I think, yep, that's San's job. Let's get into San. San, the test of emotional honesty. If San is your bias, you want someone who doesn't fear your intensity. Your emotions are big, beautiful, raw dog, thunderous. You love deeply, passionately, dramatically. Your fear is being judged or rejected for the sheer scale of your feelings. You want someone who doesn't shrink when you feel things loudly. Someone who stays when the waves rise. Gombe, gombe, and accepts your full, magnificent emotional weather system. But you never say this. You fear being too much. You wait for someone who proves through trials that they can handle the storm. The storm is over. Mingi's next, by the way. How it actually happens. You test people with bursts of emotional honesty, a sudden panic, an intense expression of rage or joy. Then you immediately retreat if they flinch even slightly. You seek stability, but you create chaos to find it. Oh, that's so toxic. You push people away to see who will stay. The solution: recognize that testing is not connection, it's self-sabotage, driven by the fear of engulfment. Instead of testing, state your emotional state. I am feeling overwhelmed right now, but I want you here. This invites connection rather than demanding your partner prove their emotional bravery. Sometimes we have to be gentle with things, but fix on! Oh, it's Mingi's part now. Okay, Mingi, the demand for gentle discovery, the vulnerability barrier. If Mingi is your bias, you want someone who lets you open up slowly. You feel deeply, but you speak slowly. Not because you lack emotion, but because vulnerability is a foreign language you are still learning. You know Englishy? Do you? Okay, we'll finish. You need a safe container. You want someone patient enough to sit with your silences and not pressure you. Someone who makes emotional expression feel safe, not forced. You desire to be discovered gently, not forced open, but you never ask for this emotional patience. You just hope someone naturally gives it. Believing that if they truly cared, and this was in your diary, by the way, they would see the effort you are putting in. Oh my goodness. How it actually happens. You say, I'm fine, when you're not. Then secretly hope someone asks again and again until you feel safe enough to tell the truth. This passive hope leaves you constantly disappointed. The solution: how are we going to stop this? Your partner cannot read your struggle. You must learn to verbalize the process, if not the feeling. Try, I'm having a hard time talking about this, but I am committed to trying. Please give me a minute of silence. This gives your partner the instructions they need to support you, turning passive hope into active collaboration. But sometimes we don't get the certainty that we want, but that's the Wami's leader's job. Wooyoung, the need for absolute certainty, the charm deflection. If Wooyoung is your bias, you want someone who chooses you clearly. Under all the flirting, teasing, and confidence is a profound need for clarity and commitment. You want someone who shows you, without games, that you are their first choice, their priority. This need is often rooted in a deep fear of abandonment, masked by a charismatic exterior. You use charm and banter as a shield and a test. You want clear devotion, but you never admit this. You hide behind your high energy persona, waiting for them to prove something you are too afraid to ask for directly. How it actually happens. You flirt and test interest with high stakes behavior, then panic when someone actually likes you back because now the fear of losing them is real. You are constantly seeking reassurance through performance. The solution: stop using charm as deflection. Sorry, that was too hard. I'm sorry. Choose to be vulnerable by asking simple, clear questions about the relationship status and future. Replace flirting tests with genuine requests for time and attention. It makes me feel secure when we plan our next date immediately. Can we do that now? You need to choose clarity over performance. But sometimes the demand for that sort of support is kind of hard. But no, that is for the people who love the maknae. Jongho, the silent demand for support. If Jongho is your bias, you want someone you don't have to be strong for. You are the bedrock, the reliable one, the grounded one who carries the team, the family, the friends. Your unspoken need is for someone who sees through that immense strength, someone who realizes you need support too. You want a partner who says, you don't have to carry everything alone, and means it. You crave permission to be vulnerable, but you never express this need because your identity is tied up in your strength. You bury your vulnerability under a mountain and not Jason of responsibility, hoping someone will dig deep enough to find the real, hey, she's present, soft you. How it actually happens: you endure silently, hoping someone notices your silence and takes a burden off your plate. Most people don't because your strength is too convincing. This results in slow, quiet burnout and profound isolation. The solution: stop waiting for external permission. Give yourself permission to rest. Communicate your workload, not your feelings of failure. Here's an example. I have too much on my plate this week. I need you to handle a couple of things. I'm sorry that this is a difficult conversation, but it's not. It's not a difficult conversation because you need to have things in this relationship too. So just, it's okay. It's okay, maknae lover. So when you outsource a task, you signal your need for support without having to confess the full weight of your hidden burden. There seems to be a pattern. There is a pattern. So the pattern that's repeating in every single ATEEZ bias archetype. Let's just see. Hongjoong wants understanding without speaking. Seonghwa wants his softness protected. Yunho wants reciprocated warmth. Yeosang wants his silence heard, San wants emotional bravery, Vixon wants patient unfolding, Kukukaka wants clear devotion, Jongho wants safety to be vulnerable. So the common thread, the refusal to ask, the demand for silent, intuitive service. The ultimate relationship advice is this: your partner is not a mind reader. If you love them, give them the fucking gift of clarity. If you love yourself, hoochie, give yourself the courage to ask for what you need. So tell me in the comments, because I love to read them ever so much, which need are you demanding silently? And why are you so afraid to ask for it? Let's start the conversation down below. This is real life. This is real life. But I'm not a doctor or any of those things. And I have been reading your diary, and I'm under your bed and all the things. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, there's a video that I want you to watch. I put it out and I think you're gonna love it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with your enemies. I'll see you in this video. Okay, bye.